I refused to join their HOA, so they raided my business and destroyed property illegally. What would you do if a powerful, seemingly untouchable organization tried to force you into their ranks, and when you refused, they launched a direct attack on your livelihood and property? The rhythmic whir of my 3D printers and the faint scent of melting plastic were the familiar sounds of my workshop, Pixel Crafts Innovation. Tucked away in a revitalized industrial park on the edge of Havenwood, my small business specialized in creating custom 3D printed prototypes for local inventors and small businesses. It was a niche market, but one I poured my heart into, building a reputation for precision and innovative solutions. My property, Unit 12B, was clearly separated from the surrounding office park by a chain-link fence and prominent, private workshop, no unauthorized entry signs. I, Alex Chun, a detail-oriented engineer and passionate entrepreneur, thrived on the quiet focus of my work. Then came Karen, not with a business inquiry, but with a full-blown raid. I was in the middle of a complex print for a crucial medical device prototype when the workshop door burst open. In stormed a contingent of individuals in matching polo shirts emblazoned with Havenwood Business Park Association, led by Brenda Albright, the notoriously aggressive president of the newly formed BPA. She carried a clipboard like a weapon, her severe blonde bob perfectly coiffed, radiating an air of self-importance. "Mr. Chun," Brenda shrieked, her voice echoing unnaturally in my quiet workshop. "We have received, shall we say, numerous complaints regarding your unauthorized noise levels and unsightly deliveries. Your industrial activities are not in keeping with the professional aesthetic of the Havenwood Business Park Association. You are in direct violation of our covenants regarding nuisance activities and aesthetic depreciation. We are here to conduct a compliance inspection and issue a formal cease and desist order for your operations, effective immediately." Behind her, two burly security guards began to fan out, eyeing my expensive equipment with an unnerving possessiveness. The main conflict, audacious and utterly infuriating, was laid bare. Brenda, armed with baseless accusations, a profound misunderstanding of modern manufacturing, and the shocking pretense of authority, was attempting to shut down my legitimate, high-tech business. Her demands were not only ludicrous but rooted in a profound disdain for small-scale innovation and a pathological need for control, treating my honest work as a personal affront to her polished corporate vision. Her attitude was one of blatant contempt, believing her personal preferences granted her the right to intrude, dictate, and impose rules on sovereign property, even though I was not a member of her association. I stared at her, then at the two guards. "Ms. Albright," I said, my voice low and steady, trying to keep my frustration in check. "You are trespassing. I am not a member of the Havenwood Business Park Association. My unit is privately owned, and I operate under all county zoning and business permits. You have no jurisdiction here, and you certainly have no right to conduct any inspection or issue orders. I suggest you and your associates vacate my property immediately." I even pointed to the prominent "No Unauthorized Entry" signs and my business license displayed on the wall. Brenda, however, merely scoffed, waving a dismissive hand. "Mr. Chun, your privacy does not supersede our residents' right to a harmonious business environment. We have legal authority to ensure the orderly conduct of all businesses within the park, whether you've officially joined or not. You have 1 hour to cease all nuisance activities or face daily fines of $10,000 and formal legal action to force compliance. Now, clear out, or we will remove your equipment ourselves." Her tone was chillingly arrogant, her eyes holding a glint of perverse pleasure, as if she enjoyed wielding this illegitimate power. Before I could react, Brenda's audacity escalated into a direct, shocking act of destruction and theft. While her security guards distracted me, Brenda marched directly to my workbench, where a critical medical device prototype, meticulously printed over weeks, lay cooling. With a triumphant sneer, she deliberately smashed it to pieces with a heavy wrench she had seemingly brought for the purpose. Then, she pulled a small, silver thumb drive from her pocket and, before I could stop her, inserted it into my main 3D printer and wiped its internal memory, destroying countless proprietary design files and weeks of irreplaceable work. It was a calculated, malicious act designed to damage critical infrastructure, destroy invaluable intellectual property, and cripple my business beyond recovery. Right after Brenda's act of destruction and data wiping, a crucial twist unfolded from an unexpected source. My youngest intern, Sarah, a brilliant cybersecurity student, had left her personal laptop plugged into my network to run some background simulations. Her laptop, equipped with an advanced network intrusion detection system she was developing, not only recorded Brenda accessing the printer, but also automatically made a mirror image backup of the printer's internal memory to a cloud server moments before the wipe occurred, flagging the unauthorized access as a critical security breach. "Alex," Sarah gasped, running in with her laptop, her face pale. "I got it all. Her wiping the printer, and I even have a full backup. And look at this, her device actually tried to upload a virus to your network." The larger consequence of Brenda's actions became terrifyingly clear. The medical device prototype she had destroyed wasn't just a client's project. It was a crucial component of a federally funded emergency response ventilator project with the Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, aimed at rapidly scalable production for future pandemics. Her deliberate destruction of the prototype and the attempt to wipe my printer's memory wasn't just a petty act of vandalism. It directly jeopardized a critical national public health initiative, setting back months of vital research and potentially endangering countless lives in a future crisis. Her petty vendetta had escalated into a direct assault on national security and public welfare, elevating her personal malice to a matter of profound humanitarian and governmental significance. Armed with Sarah's irrefutable video footage, the recovered data, the furious director of the HHS ventilator project, and my own burning desire for justice, I was done being patient. When the local police, alerted by an anonymous tip, likely from one of Brenda's disgruntled security guards, finally arrived, Brenda was already in full performance mode, loudly complaining about my disruptive business to anyone who would listen. "Officers," she shrieked, "I'm here to report more of his illegal activities. He's clearly violating zoning laws." "Actually, Ms. Albright," I retorted, my voice cutting through her bluster, amplified by the news cameras that had just pulled up, having been tipped off by the HHS director. "Your report is about to become an arrest for felony vandalism, grand theft, and cybercrime." I then projected Sarah's security camera footage onto a large, portable screen for the officers and the news crew. The raw, unedited video of Brenda's malicious acts played for all to see. Her deliberate smashing of the prototype, her triumphant sneer as she wiped the printer, and her false accusations. The officers looked aghast, and the assembled news crew gasped. Brenda's face went from smug confidence to utter, white-faced terror. "That's manipulated. That child is lying. This is a malicious attack on my character and the BPA's integrity," she shrieked, desperately trying to manipulate the situation, her voice shrill and breaking. She started pointing fingers, trying to blame Sarah, me, anyone but herself. Just as her tirade reached its peak, the silence was shattered by the distinct wail of additional sirens. More local police vehicles, but also a sleek black SUV marked FBI Cybercrimes Unit, pulled up. Out of the lead vehicle stepped a grim-faced special agent, followed by a representative from the Department of Defense, DoD, Small Business Innovation Research, SBIR, office, and the furious director of the HHS ventilator project. The DoD representative spoke first, his voice cold and cutting. "Ms. Albright, your actions have directly jeopardized a federally funded SBIR project critical to national defense and public health. This is a severe federal offense, carrying significant prison time." The FBI special agent stepped forward. "And Ms. Albright, we've also been investigating reports of widespread financial irregularities within the Havenwood Business Park Association, specifically regarding the fraudulent collection of assessment fees and the diversion of BPA funds to shell corporations ostensibly for park improvements. Your documented acts of vandalism, destruction of intellectual property, and cyber attack on a legitimate business align perfectly with these ongoing investigations. Furthermore, we have evidence of significant sums of BPA funds being diverted to offshore accounts linked to your shell corporations, ostensibly for development projects that never materialized." A nervous murmur rippled through the gathered business park owners, who had followed the commotion, as one stammered to the FBI agent. She told us the assessment fees were for our new business lounge. We had no idea the money was going to her husband's offshore accounts. It was a chilling revelation. Brenda wasn't just a busybody. She was a criminal mastermind, systematically defrauding her own members, attempting to shut down legitimate businesses, and sabotaging critical federal projects for massive personal profit, with the compliance inspections merely a cover for her grand scheme. A past incident, whispered among her former colleagues, revealed that Brenda had been previously involved in a corporate espionage scandal in another state. The consequences for Brenda Albright were immediate and utterly devastating. She was arrested by the FBI and local police on multiple charges, including federal offenses for destruction of a federally funded prototype, cyber sabotage, felony vandalism, and later, as the full extent of the fraud was uncovered, for massive embezzlement, wire fraud, and racketeering. The Havenwood Business Park Association was placed under immediate federal oversight, its assets frozen, and a full forensic audit exposed tens of millions in stolen funds, a systematic scheme orchestrated by Brenda and her network. Her carefully cultivated image as the benevolent business leader shattered into irreparable pieces. The BPA members she had once intimidated and defrauded now turned on her, furious at being manipulated and exploited, their association funds stolen, and their businesses facing scrutiny due to her criminal actions. Her social circles, built on an illusion of wealth and influence, abandoned her completely, unwilling to be associated with such public disgrace. Her vast real estate holdings, her fortune, her status, her perceived power all confiscated as part of the ongoing investigation and subsequent lawsuits. She lost everything: her freedom, her fortune, and her reputation. The ultimate irony was that her audacious attempt to force me into her HOA and destroy my business led to the complete unraveling of her vast, illegal enterprise, culminating in a federal prison sentence. As for Pixelcraft's innovation, it thrived. The destroyed prototype was quickly reprinted thanks to Sarah's quick thinking, and the business received a surge of new contracts and national attention, now a designated partner for federal projects. The satisfaction was immense, watching her literal and figurative empire crumble before her eyes, a quiet triumph of justice and legitimate innovation over arrogant greed and rampant criminality. What's your take on this? When someone so brazenly abuses power, engages in industrial sabotage, and attempts to shut down legitimate businesses while defrauding an entire community and sabotaging critical national projects, does their complete and utter downfall, even to federal prison, truly serve justice? Or is there a point where the consequences become too extreme?